Close your eyes and picture a rich person. You probably see a yacht, a closet full of designer sneakers, maybe a watch that costs more than a college education, or someone who never looks at the price tag on a menu. Now open your eyes. The biggest lie the world sells us is that wealth looks like spending money, but the mathematical reality, the boring, unsexy truth, is that wealth is actually the money you haven't spent yet. If you clicked on this video, you're probably tired. You're tired of the stress, the paycheck-to-paycheck tightrope walk, and that sinking feeling in your stomach when the check engine light turns on. You want out. You want financial freedom. But the question isn't, do you want to be rich? Everyone wants to be rich. The question is, what are you willing to give up to get there? The first sacrifice is the hardest because it goes against our biological programming. You have to sacrifice the upgrade. We have this tendency called lifestyle creep, and it's the silent killer of wealth. It works like this. You're broke in college, eating instant noodles, and you survive. You get your first job making $40,000, you survive, but you upgrade to fast casual dining. You get a promotion to $60,000, and suddenly your car isn't good enough, so you finance a new one. You hit $100,000, and now your apartment feels small, so you move to a luxury complex. At every stage, you feel like you're making more money, but your bank account stays exactly the same, empty. You are running on a treadmill, turning up the speed, but never actually moving forward. To build wealth, you have to create a gap between what you earn and what you burn, and the only way to do that is to embrace a little bit of discomfort. I'm not saying you have to live in a cardboard box, but you have to be willing to live below your means while everyone else is pretending to be rich living at their means. It means driving the older Honda Civic when you can technically afford the BMW. It means staying in the okay apartment for 3 extra years so you can buy a house later, rather than renting the luxury apartment now. It's about decoupling your ego from your spending. If you can make $100,000 but live like you make $50,000, you aren't just saving money, you are buying a time machine that fast forwards your retirement by decades. Then there's the sacrifice of convenience, or what I like to call the lazy tax. We are living in the golden age of frictionless spending, where you can press a button and a stranger brings a burrito to your door without you ever putting on pants. But let's do the math on that burrito. The menu price is $12, which seems reasonable, but then there's the delivery fee, the service fee, the small order fee, and the tip. Suddenly, you're paying $26 for lukewarm beans and rice. If you do that twice a week, that's over $2,700 a year. Invested at 8% over 30 years, that mediocre burrito habit costs you roughly $300,000. Convenience is the enemy of wealth accumulation in the early stages because wealth requires friction and effort. The sacrifice here is simply doing things yourself. It means cooking on a Tuesday when you're tired, cleaning your own bathroom, and making your own coffee. I know I'm sounding like I'm yelling about avocado toast, but you have to recognize that convenience is a luxury product. If you are trying to build your foundation, you cannot afford to pay a premium for laziness every single day. You have to trade your time to save your money until your money grows enough to eventually buy back your time. Then there's the sacrifice of immediate gratification, or what I like to call the now tax. We are living in the golden age of instant gratification, where you can press a button and your brain gets a little dopamine hit. We're trained by Amazon, Netflix, and TikTok to expect everything instantly. If a website takes 3 seconds to load, we get angry. If we want a new gadget, we buy it immediately. This wiring is disastrous for your finances because wealth is a long game. It is the absolute opposite of instant. It is slow, boring, and requires patience. A great rule to trick your brain is the 72-hour rule. If you see something you want, leave it in the cart and walk away for 3 days. What usually happens is that 90% of the time, the desire disappears because it wasn't a genuine need. It was just an impulse. You were bored or sad or stressed, and your brain thought buying something would fix the feeling. By sacrificing the high of buying it now,
you save thousands of dollars a year on junk that would have ended up in a garage sale anyway. You have to train yourself to find satisfaction in security, not in stuff. Perhaps the most dangerous trap for high earners is the need to look successful. You have to sacrifice the need to look successful. We are social animals who care what the tribe thinks of us, so we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't even like. Here is the brutal truth about status symbols. When you drive by in a new brand $80,000 truck, nobody is looking at you and thinking about how successful you are. They're looking at the truck and thinking about how cool they would look in it. You're just a mannequin for their own fantasies. True wealth is usually invisible. Rich is loud, but wealth is quiet. Rich is the guy with the luxury watch and the leased car who hyperventilates when tax season comes, while wealth is the guy in the generic polo shirt driving a used Toyota who could quit his job tomorrow and not worry about money for 10 years. To build that kind of wealth, you have to be willing to look average to the outside world.
We also suffer from the illusion of choice. We think freedom means having 500 choices every day, but when it comes to money, too many choices lead to paralysis and waste. You need to become a financial minimalist. Think about how much mental energy you burn wondering if you should buy this or that, or which subscription plan is better. When you are building wealth, you need to sacrifice the complexity. Stop browsing and stop looking for the perfect deal on things you shouldn't be buying anyway. Commit to a few things and stick to them, like keeping the same phone for 4 years or picking just one streaming service. More importantly, you must automate your savings to remove the choice to spend. If your money hits your checking account, you will find a reason to spend it. But if you set up an automatic transfer so that 20% of your paycheck vanishes into an investment account before you even wake up on payday, you don't have to use willpower. Willpower is a finite resource, so don't rely on it. Sacrifice the option to spend that money by hiding it from yourself immediately. If you want to be miserable and broke, open Instagram and look at people from high school who are currently on vacation in Bali. You must sacrifice comparison. This has never been harder than it is today because you carry a device in your pocket that constantly blasts you with images of people living better lives than you. But remember that social media is a highlight reel. You are comparing your behind-the-scenes reality, your stress, your debt, your messy kitchen, to their carefully edited trailer. You see the vacation photo, but you don't see the massive credit card debt they racked up to pay for it, or the arguments about money they have in that hotel room. I have met a lot of people who look incredibly rich on paper, but are clinically depressed about their finances. And I've met janitors who retired as millionaires because they just didn't care what anyone else was doing. Comparing yourself to others is the fastest way to derail your plan because it makes you feel inadequate, which makes you want to spend money to catch up. You have to put blinders on. Your financial journey is a single-player game, and the only score that matters is your net worth versus your net worth last year. Finally, you have to sacrifice the quick win. This separates the gamblers from the investors. We all want to find the lottery ticket, the next crypto coin, or the stock that goes to the moon because we want to get rich by Tuesday. But trying to get rich fast is the best way to get poor fast. Real wealth building is painfully, aggressively boring. It consists of buying a low-cost index fund, contributing to it every month, and waiting 20 years. It's like watching paint dry, and people hate it because they want excitement. They want to feel like a Wall Street trader, but the data shows that boring wins and consistency beats intensity every time. If you were constantly jumping from one opportunity to the next, paying fees, reacting to the news, and trying to outsmart the market, you're going to lose. You have to sacrifice the excitement and embrace the boredom. When your friends are talking about how they made 300% on a gamble before they lost it all the next week, you have to be content knowing you just bought more of the total market. It's not a sexy story to tell at parties, but the early retirement it buys you is worth it. I know this sounds like a lot of no. No to the new car, no to the delivery, no to the expensive clothes, and no to the quick dopamine hits. It sounds restrictive, like you're depriving yourself, but let me reframe this for you. You aren't making these sacrifices because you hate yourself or to be a miser who dies on a pile of unspent money. You are making these sacrifices to buy freedom. Every dollar you save and invest is a soldier fighting for your freedom. When you have 6 months of expenses saved, you don't have to tolerate a toxic boss. When you have investments growing, you don't have to stress when the economy crashes. When you reach financial independence, you get to wake up and ask what you want to do today instead of what you have to do to survive. Most people choose the appearance of wealth today and sacrifice their freedom tomorrow. I am asking you to sacrifice the appearance of wealth today so you can own your freedom forever. It's a trade, and it is the best trade you will ever make.